Now, the citizens of Burma had the novel experience yesterday of voting in elections. They weren't exactly what any of us might recognise as democracy, mainly because there's not a cat-in-hell's chance they'll change the military government. Today, there was fighting between government troops and ethnic minority rebels on the border with Thailand. Suroy Roberts has been in eastern Burma trying to discover how the generals are dealing with the resistance from the country's ethnic minorities and making money at the same time.
The border between Thailand and eastern Burma is notoriously porous. Thousands of refugees fleeing Burma's brutal military regime make their way through the jungle to Thailand every year. Going in the opposite direction from Thailand and entering Burma illegally isn't much of a problem. At an appointed evening hour, we're assured that the border guards will have slipped away. Best not to ask how or why. Allowing us to walk into Burma proper at night. Though our hosts here wouldn't call this Burma. Trekking to a rebel army camp the next day, the soldiers tell you the land belongs to the Karenni people, protected by them, the Karenni Army. Ask any of them why they joined the rebel army, and they'll come up with a similar story.
I was a student in the 1970s when the Burmese army came to our village. They shot some people and arrested others, tied them up with ropes and threw them into trucks to use as forced labourers. And then they raped the young girls, even 14-year-olds. I saw all this myself and decided to join the rebellion.
It may look a ragtag army, but rebels like these are fighting in half a dozen ethnic states along the 1,600-kilometre length of the country. It keeps the Burmese army of some 400,000 strong occupied. But it's an expensive business. The junta earns hundreds of millions of dollars from logging in the teak forests and from the gem mines, which are found mainly in the ethnic areas. Anyone who lives in the way is simply removed at gunpoint. Today, from Karenni refugees, I heard some of the most shocking reports yet.
The government soldiers started burning the village and then opened fire with machine guns. They were shooting everywhere. It was the old people and the small children who were killed first. Everyone was terrified, running in all directions, trying to escape the bullets. They said we did not deserve to live because we support the Karenni rebel army. Those of us who survived ran into the jungle and then started walking.
Local cameramen joined the mass exodus of people to record the flight of entire villages across the border to the refugee camps in Thailand. Hundreds of villages have been emptied at gunpoint. They walked for days. Many fell sick and died for lack of food and medical care.
I
had a bag on my back and a baby in each arm when I fled. For the pregnant women, it was worse. Some had to stop on the way to give birth. When the government soldiers caught up with them, they killed them. We all had to keep moving. Some women were so pregnant that they could barely walk, so they got stones and beat their stomachs to kill their babies, to miscarry, so that they could escape from the government soldiers.
The Karenni Army have noted more units of the Burmese army closing in, the nearest on a neighbouring hilltop, and the arrival of foreign technicians. All this activity, they say, is to construct a network of dams in the area.
With this dam project here, the government have brought in Chinese experts to supervise the construction, and they've built military bases for protection. They've laid mines everywhere, which are really dangerous for the local people. As soon as the project is finished, they will sell the electricity to Thailand. The government will get the money, but there'll be nothing for us Karenni people.
The Burmese generals aren't stupid, or they wouldn't have held on to power for so long. The program of demolishing villages and building dams in Karenni state is being repeated, the length of the rivers which divide Burma from Thailand and further north from China. Wherever there are ethnic rebel armies, the junta is sweeping away the villages who support them. Local people who've watched their villages being flooded have come together, calling themselves the Burma Rivers Network, and charted the chain of dams being constructed, mainly in the border areas, and the power lines being erected to export electricity to China and Thailand, all to earn the revenue needed to keep the military in power. Throughout the ethnic areas, they tell you, the elections were an irrelevance.
For the ethnic peoples and the Burmese people alike, we will all still be treated like slaves and be even more downtrodden. This election is only to legitimize the generals so they can hold on to power.
Only you people on the outside can help us. If we return to Burma, we know that the military government will kill us.
Their worry is that these elections might fulfill the general's design, to give the junta respectability and to persuade the outside world to continue to forget their many victims for whom refugee camps have become permanent homes.
Sue Lloyd-Roberts reporting there.